Near you. Brought to you by Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Just don't even intro the show in a normal. Oh, my bad.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. This is the Happy Hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrico, hanging out with you. Rico and I just both agreed. It feels like this is going to be a show that definitely goes off the rails here in this first segment.
This is a bounce around segment.
This just really feels like there's a couple things that we...
So be prepared.
Yeah, so just buckle in.
Maybe a little bit of a tip jar if questions get asked. We're more than willing, but it's gonna be it's gonna just be a little bit of a mixed bag of emotions kind of segment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We got a lot of stuff to get to. 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both those open for you guys the entire show, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, do all that fun stuff.
I was just looking at that, and it looks like we have 2.46 thousand.
Not enough.
Which would be 2,460 subscribers.
Thank you for telling me. I didn't know math.
But you don't have to be an ass about it, Rico. All right? You don't have to be that way. All right? But anyway.
Sorry, I'm a little on edge.
Why?
Because
your take is garbage. That's why.
That's not it.
Why are you on edge?
Because I got God of War and I didn't get to play it last night. And I keep seeing all these things, and I don't want it to be spoiled for me. And people keep posting some boss fights, and then I see Kratos fighting with Thor, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to fight Thor, and I'm like, I don't want to know how this fight goes. I want to do this myself. I want to experience this game myself. And I keep getting like these Easter eggs, and apparently there's an Easter egg of one of my other favorite games in this game, and I'm so excited to find that. But I haven't been able to play it because I got it last night, and then Ellie didn't want to sleep, and then I didn't. And then I was tired, and I wanted to sleep, so I didn't want to go play the game. Because if I would have played it, I would have stayed up way too late, and then I wouldn't have gotten a lot of sleep, and I'd have been super tired coming in today, and it was just a problem, Nick. It was just a problem.
You should have brought it in.
I couldn't bring it in, because then I wouldn't be doing this show right now. I'd be playing. I'd be up front on my computer playing, and then Mark would be like, hey, Rico, you have a show to do, and I'd be like, stop talking to me, I'm playing God of War, and then I would have got in trouble, because I would have told my boss to stop talking to me, and then DP's not here, he's in New York at a UFC event, he looks like he's having a really good time, he's taking pictures of the presser right now, and it's just a lot, all right? It's just a lot. And then you guys are making fun of me for my Husker football take, which I don't think is a crazy take.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I don't think it's wild. But you guys are making fun of me for that. Then Jay's going to come in later and beat me up because I said that a kicker was the best player on the Houston Texans, and I didn't mention him. But then I told him that Andre Johnson was a really good player, and he's like, I'm going to see you later. I was like, well, I mean, look, Jay Foreman, look me in the eyes and tell me you were a better player than Andre Johnson. Go ahead.
Gee whiz, man. Anyway,
I'm having a day.
Hizzlebear says, thank you for reminding me to get that game.
You're welcome, Hizzlebear. I hope you spent $200+ and got the Jotnar edition. It's not a sword, it's a hammer.
It's a hammer.
It's Mjolnir. And I hope you spent all that money. And I need you to send me a picture of it because I wanted it, but it was a lot and I didn't want to spend that much.
I should have taken the picture yesterday when I saw it out in public.
You should have.
Mark says, have a donut, you'll feel better.
I won't. Mark, I just want to go home and I want to play God of War.
I just want to go home.
Like as soon as this show is done, are you
out?
I'm gonna podcast super quick.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just write down what happened and I'll leave it for somebody later to podcast. I don't know. And then I'll go up and I'll make the log for tomorrow because you have a football game that you're doing tomorrow.
Yep.
And so I got to make sure that gets in.
That's true.
And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to play God of War for, I don't know, like 30 minutes because then I got to go get the kids.
Just 30 minutes.
I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to get home. And then I have to go
the kids home.
No, then I have to go get the kids. And then I have to wait until they go to sleep before I play because I don't want to just leave Rachel with the kids because they're little hellions right now. They're little demons.
Why?
I don't know. They're not sleeping very well. They're little demons.
Would
So
they like to play some God of War?
no, I'm not letting either of them see that game.
Come
We'll play
on.
like Crash Bandicoot or something. I don't know. But I have to wait for them to sleep, and then I'm gonna play. But I don't want to stay up too late because then I have to get here in the morning, and I don't want to be tired. I don't want to supplement myself with coffee to get some energy.
Well,
I just want to be able to have energy.
Because that's the thing. Somebody said, Rico, less coffee, bud. You only drink like 1 cup of coffee.
1 cup of coffee a day. I drink it in the morning, and I'm good.
I started. So we mentioned that this segment's going to get out of control, and here we are.
It has started.
Already 4 minutes into the show. Here we are. Rico needs medicated.
I don't. I'm fine. Don't need medication. Take your doctors and get out of here.
Rico is getting fussy. It's like you're a 2-year-old.
I am fussy.
Rico's fussy. Somebody,
I need a drink. I need a drink and I need my blanket.
Somebody get Rico's blanket and sippy cup. He's
My
fussy.
blankie.
Hello, Binky as
Isabel,
well.
I feel you though because my kids are 6 weeks and 19 months. See,
So
I get that. Just wait till you have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Mark says this rant triggers me. I am triggered.
Good for you,
But
Mark.
here's the deal. Mark's not coming back here and defending.
No,
or
he's not.
explaining why.
Also,
he's
why are you
triggered.
triggered?
Yeah, why is this triggering
This has
you,
nothing
Mark?
to do with you, Mark.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be yelling. I apologize. This is not the time for me to just go on a rant about how I want to play more video games.
Okay, so here we go. While we are talking video games, let's preview the show. Actually, we are going to get into sports. Husker volleyball or Husker football, Husker men's basketball, both those topics coming up. We will be joined by Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald at 1:30 to talk about Husker hoops. But first, while we're on the subject of video games, McDonald's, and Rico, I know you saw this a couple days ago. McDonald's is releasing a gaming chair called the McCrispy. And this is fact. This is true.
I want it.
Okay. So there's a picture on it. There's a picture of it on Twitter, on Twitter, excuse me. And here's the deal. Here is what comes as a feature of the McCrispy gaming chair. A fries holder.
Necessary.
A drink holder.
Necessary.
2 holders for dipping sauce.
Completely necessary.
A hot box to keep your McCrispy warm while gaming.
That's awesome.
Okay. A built-in napkin holder and 2 reusable napkins with McCrispy branding. A stain-proof leather treatment so you can enjoy your McCrispy in peace. Modular armrest to allow users to swap their McCrispies to different sides.
Perfect.
And then obviously it's a chair. It's a gaming chair.
I see 0 problems with this.
Once again, called the McCrispy.
All of that is necessary. I asked Mark if I could have that as my chair at the new station. At the new location.
Yeah.
He said probably not. He vetoed it.
You're out. He's out on the McCrispy.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Mark is really putting a damper on our.
Mark's
on our
been
days.
vetoing all of my ideas, and I think they're pretty good.
I think so too, Rico.
Thank you.
You deserve support.
Thank you. I do. I need it.
You need support.
I do
because you can't play God of War.
It's a problem.
You're only going to be able to play for 30 minutes,
something like that. I don't even think I'm going to get through the opening credits.
So because you'll watch everything the first time.
100%.
That's how I am with sport games.
No
I mean, because you know this, I only play sport video games.
Oh, I skip through a lot of those now. I forget the sports ones aren't as important. But the story, the single player story ones, like those are important. God of War, The Last of Us, all very important.
I knew that as long as we continued to torment and call out Mark for not coming back here and defending his takes.
Mark is a fun hater, like Stanford.
He's really a damper.
Mark is the Stanford of the office.
You got to use the other headphones.
Oh, box working?
Why
don't you come in here?
Yeah, come on in. They're in the studio.
Come on.
You are more than welcome.
Get in here.
Come on into the studio, Mark.
He's like a vampire. We have to invite him in.
He thinks just because he's skinny now.
You're not a vampire. You can walk through the door. You don't have to be invited.
Mark, what's on the blog jog today?
Is that a vampire thing? They can't enter a room?
They can't enter your house unless you invite them in.
I had no clue about that.
Common knowledge?
It should be. Stop inviting people into your house. You won't get killed by a vampire.
Trust me, I don't invite anybody into my house. Don't worry about that.
If anybody asks, if anybody stands at your front door and goes, "Can I come in?" They're a vampire. Say no.
You don't let people into your house. Not a big company guy?
No, I'm not a big company guy. No.
Come over to your house.
Even though you just got a smoker or whatever? Or no, you just did smoked salmon. It's not that you just bought a new smoker. I apologize. All right, so
I ate that smoked salmon myself. I'm not sharing it. Come on.
How dare you?
How dare you?
So why are you a fun hater? What's your deal?
Look.
The Stanford of the office.
Creed.
I didn't hear everything you guys were saying about me.
Okay.
What I know is that the ideas that I'm vetoing, Rico came to me and said, "Hey, I've got this idea. Everybody has their own chair. And for
Perfect.
every show, you
Perfect.
wheel your chair in and wheel out somebody else's chair.
Chair lockers.
And then you've got a little chair corral over on the side.
Tell me that's not a great idea.
I did not know that.
Tell me that's not a great
I
idea.
would love to have my own chair because here's the deal. We've been in this
What's the
studio.
deal?
We've been here like 12 years, probably 11 years. 11 years in this studio.
Yeah, sure.
Have we gotten new chairs the entire time?
No.
No. So we don't know what's on these bottom on these chairs.
Don't hit them.
We have an idea.
Well, we have a lot of swag.
Don't hit your chair.
Here's the deal. If you have your own chair, you know what's on the bottom, or you know what's on the seat.
You know what's on your
cushion.
chair.
But
Chair lockers, because also you were trying to figure out a place to put people's backpacks when they walk in. Chair locker. Then you close it. Then you have to worry about a bunch of clutter everywhere because everybody has their own locker.
So now I need a locker big enough for a chair and your backpack?
foldable.
Okay, if it's big enough for a chair, it's big enough for a backpack. You put your backpack on the chair.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
You're
Your hooks.
coddling these chairs so much. I'm not sure that.
Have
I
you
mean,
been? Have you done research on what chairs? you
I
need?
have not. I have not done research on how much room we need for a
good,
chair
don't
locker
waste your
either.
time.
See? Fun
Not
hater.
happening.
Tell me 402-464-5685. Chair lockers and individual chairs. Good idea, bad idea.
We would just have our chairs with the names on the back. We'd feel like Hollywood.
I thought you guys were going to be happy with window.
I'm thrilled with
I
windows.
thought
Not
window
just
was going to be
window.
enough.
It's not just one.
Mark Onweiler.
It is multiple windows.
I never asked for a window.
You didn't have to, Rico. You
Are-
didn't have
you're
to.
not happy
Also,
with
you work up
windows?
front where there are windows. Like,
Exactly.
you're not window
I'm
to front.
fine.
Yeah. No,
I don't need a window.
Not everything's
I
about
have a
you,
window.
Enrique.
I am thrilled with windows. I am thrilled to have windows.
I'm
bet you
fine.
are.
I have windows.
Oh yeah, you think so? Shocker. Yeah. See, I knew a comment. I cannot talk freely with
Oh,
you
you
two.
can.
Not when it comes up to windows. Not when it talks. not when it's windows.
You thank your dad today?
It is not. I did not.
So, Rico, you're skipping work to go play video games?
I want to. I'm not because I'm a
kind of what you said you were going to
No,
do.
I want to, but I'm a responsible adult and I won't.
I have kids and a family, and I can't find any
Yeah.
time to play video games.
It's the worst.
It
It sounds like the worst.
It sounds like you have regret.
terrible.
It sounds
terrible.
like you regret having kids.
I do not. I love my kids. I love my
I
family.
just want to make that very
I don't
clear.
know.
I just
mean,
wanna play
you're-
video
you're-
games.
Yeah, you're making your choices here.
Here's the deal,
I
Rico.
do make my choice. I don't play video games.
Rico, here's the deal. I don't have kids, and I play video games at night for quite a while.
Good for you. I used to do that.
And you know why I don't? Because I don't have kids. Or why I'm able to do that? Because I don't have kids.
I used to do that before I had kids, and now I have kids,
Is
and
this
now I don't.
why you don't have kids, Nick?
The only reason.
That is, I wouldn't say that's why.
That's the only reason. That's it.
I don't
Just
wanna-
so
I
you
don't
can play games.
I don't want to stop
No
my
other-
video game time, so that's why I'm not
No
having
other
kids.
reasons.
Yeah, no other reasons.
Also,
But-
Nick's rich, so it's fine.
Yeah. Rico has this thought that I'm rich, and he just said it before.
Nick is flush with cash.
No, I'm not.
I know how often you get a haircut.
I pay for school.
flush with cash.
You are worried about price per bite.
People are
Rich folks are.
Rich people are very
You want to
frugal.
know? You want to know how do they get rich?
Because they're very frugal.
Bingo.
'Cause you're
Here's
rich.
the deal.
See?
Here's the deal. Ray, you need to chill. All right, that's not true. Anyway, but we're not getting on that subject. Chase B, I am also not single, so that's nice try.
Yeah, come on, everybody.
How
How do you not know this?
I figured I should.
He's only mentioned it like twice a week.
I do not. That's ridiculous. Anyway, should we move on, guys? This is
No, continue your thought.
You were talking
I-
about your girlfriend.
No, I was not. No, I was not. Nice
You
try.
weren't not.
Nice try, guys. All right, well,
Do I have to be invited out of a room, or can I? Can
No,
I
you
exit
can
freely?
leave.
I can exit.
No,
freely.
vampires can leave
No, we're
as they
just-
please.
we're
Good-
just-
good to know.
we're
Good
just
to know.
we're just waiting. We're just waiting.
Get out of here.
Thanks, guys.
Henry,
Appreciate
chill. No.
Get out of here.
All right, 402
Chair lockers
464
are a great idea.
5685. Share lockers.
Chair lockers. I'm gonna ask Twitter.
Okay.
Chair lockers. Good idea, bad idea.
There you go.
I almost put on my phone like I don't have a laptop in front of me.
No. I need to. I got so many texts yesterday, Rico, about how price per byte was a good idea, and how
It's
they were
not.
like, you know what, that's actually a very smart, and I understand why. And I said thank you, because a hot dog at a concession stand, it only takes 30 seconds to eat, and I paid $4 for 30 seconds of my time. So
Or you paid $4 for a hot dog to enjoy a hot dog at a baseball game or a
way
football
too
game
much.
or whatever.
Ray, I accept the apology. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Don't
man.
apologize.
Nah, you're fine.
Don't
man.
apologize
Nah,
to
you're
Nick.
you're fine. You're fine, Ray. You're chilling.
Ray, you didn't cross the line. You're fine.
You didn't cross the line, but it just hits it tugs on the heartstrings.
Ray, you're right.
Rico, how would you know? How do you know anything about my life?
I can just tell by looking in your eyes. You got that look.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you got that look.
I don't think that's a thing.
Anyway, Casey Thompson
we're
is
just able to go to Target and just they have that look.
Yeah, I could tell. Every person I look at, I could tell. It's in their eyes.
Chase B says, I cannot lie. The chair lockers do sound dope.
See?
All right. We're on.
At Radio Rico AC, the poll is up. Chair lockers, good idea, bad idea.
Allow the ticket staff to have chair lockers.
Milkman, you're right. Nick is a rich kid.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard. I hate this. I hate that so much. Anyway, all right. Let's get into a little bit of stuff from Mickey Joseph today, because there was something interesting that came out from Mickey Joseph, and he said verbatim, quote, "The number one thing we have to do is hand that ball off. Hand that ball off. Slow it down. That's what we have to do." I do not think that will happen on Saturday. Like, I think it's about this time that, and we can only spend a couple minutes on this, unfortunately. We need to straight up call it like we see it right now, Rico. And this working relationship between Mark Whipple and Mickey Joseph is hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of funny the back and forth that has been going on. It's not like they're mean to each other or dislike each other. I'm sure that they have
they're chill.
a good relationship, but the back and forth that's been going on through the media, it's kind of funny. It's funny. You got to be honest. Like, it's kind of funny. The results are bad, and that's not funny, and what's happening on the field isn't funny. But the back and forth of Mickey Joseph says one thing about, you got to hug your backup quarterbacks. You got to hug your quarterbacks and let them know that they're doing a good job. And then Whipple coming back the next day and be like, yeah, whatever. It's just like, it's like my marriage.
Yeah,
I don't hug my wife all the time. Like, that's hilarious. Or what was it? Mickey Joseph said that Logan Smothers is more of a gamer. He doesn't do too hot in practice, but when you get him in a game situation, he's really good. And then Whipple saying, well, Mickey needs to go over to the defensive side a little more. Like, what is happening right now? Like, it's hilarious. And now, him talking about, you need to score points. We're going to throw he didn't say we're going to throw the ball, but if you read into it, pretty much, we're going to continue to do what we're doing on offense and throw the ball. Whatever Whipple said, and then Mickey coming in today and saying, look, to win this game, you have to run. we gotta run the ball.
Over the first couple days and over this week and a half that we've endured this, it's like, all right, this is not funny. Like, this is bad. There's a major disconnect here. And when I saw that Mickey Joseph said something along the lines of the number one thing we have to do is run that ball, hand that ball off, slow it down. I just think, once again, to what Mark Whipple said yesterday, where he's like, Chuba Purdy had their best practice of the week.
Both quarterbacks,
Chuba and Logan, they both getting more confident. They're both having their best practice of the week. And like, in a way of like prepping the Husker fans to like get ready to sling this rock down the field.
I talked to Bach about it, and the players and the coaches are never going to think this way, or at least you hope they're never going to think this way. But the fans and some media members and just, the overall football fan believes that this isn't going to be a very close game, that Michigan is going to get ahead early and probably hold on to that lead. So if you think about it like that, then passing the ball is going to be paramount in this game to try to keep up with Michigan and to try and close that gap. You're not going to be able to, you can, I wouldn't recommend, running the ball 30 plus times if you're down by 21 points. Yeah. So slinging the ball around and getting those quarterbacks used to, getting their arms ready to start passing the ball all over the yard is going to be paramount in keeping this game close and giving yourself a chance to beat Michigan. Think
about this in terms of comfortability with Mark Whipple as an offensive coordinator here at Nebraska. It started out with him. There was always not a concern, but it always made your eyebrows kind of raise a little bit when you heard him. Every single answer, he would talk about one of his past stories, whether it was with his time with the Steelers or with Pittsburgh or with Ben Roethlisberger or whatever it may be. UMass, he always related it back.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he always related it back to one of his former jobs. And like you didn't think much about it, but you're like, man, I wish you would start relating it to Nebraska. Like talk about what's going on here.
I mean, he's just he's an older guy who has experience in a lot of different places. So he was just using that experience to relate to what was going on in his current situation. And also, I mean, hadn't been here that long, you can't really relate to the Nebraska situation.
I understand that. But anyway, so here we are though. I'm talking what I wanted to get to is like in the beginning of the season, if you remember back, the questions we were asking both him and Scott Frost when Frost was still the head coach here is who's calling plays? How's that marriage going? Right. The marriage analogy is brought up once again. It was how comfortable are you with Scott Frost? And Scott, are you comfortable giving the full playbook and full play calling duties to Mark Whipple? And like to a certain extent, they were on the same page. But now you fast forward here to November 10th, and this week especially, it's just been the disconnect between what the messages they're translating to the media are just complete flip-flops.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I don't know if it's which one to blame. I don't like, because I almost blame Mark Whipple more because Mickey Joseph, for the most part, has taken the high road. And
he's taking the blame for everything.
He's taking the blame, number one.
You know, that's who he is.
But taking the high road as well. And AD mentioned this morning, how Mickey was saying something along the lines of, listen, the conversations between me and Whipple will stay between me and Whipple. That's between Whip and I. Where Mark Whipple just come out and tell you the business. Like Chase B says it on the text line here. It happened when Frost was here too, because he wouldn't say a starting quarterback, but then Mark Whipple would just go out and say it was flat out Casey Thompson.
But everybody this is the weird thing about it, because
everybody
at the time,
appreciated it.
Everybody loved that about Whipple. They're like, oh, Whipple just comes out and says everything. But now it's dude, Whipple, why are you saying so much?
It's dancing around also.
It's
saying
funny
a lot
how
without saying meaningful things.
It's funny how the thought about Whipple and the relationship between Whipple and the fan base has changed when the season actually started and Nebraska wasn't winning as many games as people believed they might.
Well, and we got a question on the text line, big scheme of things, does it even matter? Or does this really matter? I would say yes, because when we look back at this season, an added comment or added thing about that we'll put in our memory box for when we look back at this 2022 season, it's going to be how uncomfortable and awkward the offensive coordinating situation was the entire season. Because seriously, how comfortable has Mark Whipple been able to get as the offensive coordinator at Nebraska? How well has the relationship been between whoever's the head coach?
Mm-hmm.
Or how comfortable is Mark Whipple's relationship with the rest of the offensive staff? We have no clue, but from what we've seen on the field, and now especially these last couple weeks, or I suppose since week 0, going back to Scott Frost and Mark Whipple having conversations, like we don't know how if what week, like if I asked Rico, what week was the whole entire offensive staff, head coach included, on the same page the most, we wouldn't be able to answer. Like Purdue, maybe, but think about the Purdue plays. What provides you?
Georgia Southern?
Yeah, you scored a lot of points.
How do you determine if they're on the same page? Is it based off of points or just based off of how the game goes as a whole?
That's the thing. I mean, probably
it's very confused because there was. I don't remember.
Because, like, you think Purdue, and how do you feel? How do you feel great when you just chuck it up to Trey Palmer, which is awesome in the moment because it keeps you into the game. But then the following game you score 9 points.
You could just sit there and ask, how do the position coaches or how do the position players that aren't getting a lot of love on the offensive side of the ball, how do they feel? And I mean, I don't want to get into that whole thing, but yeah, I understand. It's been a weird marriage since week 0 between Mark Whipple and whoever the head coach is, just because, you have people saying, oh, who's calling the plays this week? Who's calling the plays in this quarter? Who's calling the plays in this half? And that's just a weird situation to be in as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach. But as Mickey said multiple times, look, the offense is Mark Whipple's. He's handed it over to Mark Whipple, and he gets to call all of the stuff for the offense. He's calling the plays. He's calling who's getting into the game and all of that, what have you. And many people, including myself, believe that at some point Mickey might need to step in and make a decision on who gets into the game and maybe a couple of plays here or there.
Now we need to make this quick here. We get another text, a follow-up text on the person that the unnamed texter that asked if it even matters. They follow up with saying it doesn't matter. It affects nothing long term. This is an interim thing, and everything is about to change. I get that. I get that thought process to a certain extent, but you could also argue that if Mark Whipple was on the same page with Mickey Joseph or vice versa, this season is different. You could argue that if Nebraska is able to win one or both of these last two games, maybe Mark Whipple's not here, but the Mickey Joseph conversation has changed dramatically. Because now this is becoming more of a thing of the mistakes or the lack of willingness to make an adjustment by the offensive coordinator is hurting the opportunity of the interim head coach. Now, on the flip side of that, it's also on the interim head coach at the time when we were told back on September 11th by Trev Alberts at the press conference where he announced Mickey as the interim that he has full reign, full decision making, run it like you are the head coach. So now part of that on the flip side, and I suppose this would fall in line with this unnamed texter's belief or thought process, is that Mickey needed to step in against Illinois, against Minnesota, and say either we need to do it this way or we need to do this on offense. Mm-hmm. And maybe he didn't, because you would remember after Minnesota that he said in the post-game press conference that he and Whip were on the same page. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different angles that we can look at it. Let's go ahead and get to break. When we come back, we break down Husker men's basketball as they host Omaha tonight. We'll be joined by Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald when we come back on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lindsay Teal from the Nebraska. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for the avid golfer in your life, don't give them something they can't even use until spring. Get them the gift of indoor golf from Double Eagle Golf. Grab a gift card for a stocking stuffer or give the gift of a membership and let them golf all year long. Their space is also for Christmas parties, corporate events, birthday parties, or anything else. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-46. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavaliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Your Class A state football playoff coverage rolls on right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, Sainer, join me this Friday night from Gretna High School for a semifinal matchup between the 11 seed Creighton Prep Junior Jays and number 2 seed and undefeated Gretna Dragons. The Junior Jays come in off of an upset win against number 3 seed Elkhorn South last Friday night, while the Gretna Dragons were able to hold off the 7 seed Bellevue West Thunderbirds last. Junior Jays running back in North Dakota State commit Charmar Brown has been able to rack up over 1,500 yards on the ground while finding the end zone 15 times in 2022. Oklahoma State quarterback commit Zane Flores continues to lead the Dragons with 27 touchdown passes on the year compared to only 3 interceptions. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. on Friday night, and you can hear all the action unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul and Gato Comedy Syndicate present Big Comedy Energy November 11th and 12th, featuring headliner Corbin LeMaster.
If you don't know, cultural appropriation is like if you're not black, you can't have cornrows. If you're not Asian, you can't use chopsticks. If you're white, you can't score a touchdown.
4 shows November 11th and 12th at 7 and 9:30, and Mary Ellen's at 27th and Pine Lake. Tickets are $15 in advance or $25 at the door. For more information, find the event on the Mary Ellen's page on Facebook.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Temperatures will be falling behind a strong cold front moving through this morning. There may be a few road showers, then eventually clearing as temps settle into the 40s by this afternoon. Northwest winds gusting over 30. Tonight, mainly clear, low down to 19, and only a high tomorrow of around 36. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We're efforting Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald as we speak here.
There are attempts.
Yeah, we'll attempt. Got his voicemail a couple times, but that's fine. Text him this morning, so whatever happens. We'll be all good. Once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today. Good discussion football-wise in the first segment. That would be interesting stuff. I'm curious to see kind of how it plays out because, and also, I mean, let's be real, who starts and who finishes the game, because I think those could be two different stories or two different guys as well on Saturday against Michigan, because if I was a betting man, had to put my money on one guy that was starting, it would be Chubba Purdy. I do not think Chubba Purdy finishes that game. And I also believe that Chubba might, and this might be Mickey Joseph's doing and decision. I do not think Chubba Purdy has a very long leash on Saturday.
I have this strange, weird feeling that Logan Smothers actually starts the game.
Really?
And that, depending on how things go during the game and if Logan finds success, albeit maybe very little against a very talented Michigan defense, that Chubba Purdy, you see Chubba Purdy in certain situations, but I don't know why I have this feeling Logan Smothers gets a bulk of the snaps.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Honda Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. We're joined by Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald. Jimmy, I know we're going to talk Husker hoops, but obviously you pay attention to Husker football a little bit. Who gets the start for Nebraska on Saturday?
I should hope it's Logan Smothers. I mean, how many data points do we need on Chubba Purdy before we realize that maybe he's just not ready yet? The head coach came out and told the media on set. I just kept saying this to myself over and over again in the press box. It was kind of crazy. He came out and told us that the quarterback can't read the defense. And if that's the case, what more is there to be talked about? Can you get accomplished with a quarterback who's in a situation? I'm not saying Chubba Purdy is a lost cause or anything like that. I'm sure you can see, I'm sure what we're saying about his off talent and everything is true, and I'm sure maybe he practices better than his mother's. Mickey hinted that at the podium this week. But in terms of game reps, it is unquestionable that Logan Smothers looks better running that offense than Shepard Purdy does right now. So there's your answer. I think it's a pretty cut and dry decision. It doesn't seem like they were pushing it that way. I hope that's for gamesmanship, because I would be scratching my head if sent Chubb out to start the game.
Jimmy, I mean, are we missing something here, or is it just flat out the stubbornness and unwillingness to give Logan Smothers a shot? Like, is there a deeper meaning that we're all missing, or is it just look like from the surface it looks like they're just unwilling to give Logan a fair shot here?
I do think there's something to practice performance. Mickey at the podium this week that he wants Logan to be a more consistent practice performer. He called him a gamer, which can be a good thing, right? It's like, oh, he's such a gamer, he rises to the occasion. But that could also mean he's sailing balls over dude's head in practice. So there's probably some of that going on. And I don't think we can understate the relationship that Mark Whipple has with Purdy. I mean, he sees something. He has seen things in Purdy that he just haven't, and he was recruiting him before he even got here. He was trying to recruit him to Pitt out of high school, and now he's kind of Whipple's handpicked transfer at Nebraska. So that, I mean, I think offensive coordinators like working with quarterbacks that they know and are comfortable with. Probably some of that too. And again, I believe them when they say that the ball looks better coming out of Chubba's arm than it does with Logan. I mean, we've seen when last year when Smothers had to be a drop back passer against Iowa, it didn't go well. I understand that there's some limitations there. It's just that we've to the point where we've seen what Purdy can do now, and it's not that.
Yeah, we're joined by Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald. All right, let's make the transition to basketball as the Huskers host Omaha tonight. They're coming in off of a win, obviously, in their first game against Maine. Sam Griesel had himself a pretty good night, 22 points, 9 boards in 37 minutes. Has Nebraska finally found a true point guard?
I think they've found a steadying presence. I mean, Sam is honestly, in many ways, a very unconventional point guard. He's 6'7", which is a good thing. It's a good unconventional trait to have in a point guard, but that's not a normal trait point guard to have. He started playing point guard, like, I think after during his junior year at North Dakota State. So he's kind of new to it. But in terms of what he embodies, the traits that he has, the way he leads the team, the way he it's a cliche in basketball. He said it after the game, to let the game come to you. But when you score 4 points in the first half and 18 in the second half, it's kind of the definition of letting the game come to you. He's not forcing anything. All the guys seem to like him. He's a rallying presence. You know, Derek Walker, I know we're probably not going to see him again tonight, but he was at Big Ten Media Day just fawning over Griesel's ability to, you know, always say the right thing if they were having trouble in the huddle or having trouble at practice and then needed to be huddled up, stuff like that. That's certainly a presence. Thank you, sir. I was holding the door open for somebody. I'm at a lunch right now, but he embodies a lot of what you're talking about when you're talking about a true point guard, and that I do think is something that, especially under Hoiberg, that program has been missing.
Now, Jimmy, like you just said, we're more than likely not going to see Derek Walker again tonight. We don't know how long it's going to be before we get to see him back in a Husker basketball uniform. But without him, which one of the bigs are you looking at to take that step and become that presence in the middle?
Well, I think you saw Nebraska wanted that to be Blaise Keita in the opener. They gave him a chance to start. They gave him a start against Colorado. He is, like, in terms of body frame and in physicality, he's probably the guy that you would want to fill a lot of the roles that Derek can fill. It sounds to me, though, you saw it a little bit in the second half of Maine. I think it's probably going to be more Wilhelm Breidenbach. He's very skilled. It's a different kind of defensive presence. He's a little bit quicker. He doesn't have the same grip to him that Blaise does, but he's a smart defender. He's athletic. He can move around. They went to the when Maine started to hit all those threes against them, some off takeout, they went to Wilhelm and they went to more of a switching kind of defense, and that helped slow that down. And he's just been the most productive of the three. I'm not sure Oleg Telyonets is ready for that size of role yet. And I think Blaze, they tend to stay in college basketball that junior college guys need a semester or even sometimes a year to get their feet wet, the Division I game. So I think a little bit of that with Blaze. Wilhelm is the most ready to go. And I mean, they'll need a little bit of all three of them, but it'll be Wilhelm. And even I think Juwan Gary playing class too.
We're speaking with the Omaha World Herald's Jimmy Watkins, previewing the Husker Hoops game against Omaha tonight. As Nebraska goes forward and the situation revolving around Derek Walker is still uncertain to a lot of us. I mean, how much of a hit is that to this program, setting them up as we go forward, and especially if we're still talking the Big Ten conference slate is beginning and Derek Walker is still inactive? I mean, how big of a hit is that in terms of experience, size, depth? I mean, how worried should Husker fans be that Nebraska has to go a substantial amount of time without Derek Walker?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get some of those Big Ten behemoths coming through, like your Hunter Dickinsons, your Zach Edey, Bryce Jackson Davis's. Derek is overmatched size-wise against those guys, but at least he's seen them before. He knows what to expect when he plays against those guys. I mean, if you're asking guys like Wilhelm and Blaze and Oleg to go against those guys, that's just it's a lot to ask of those guys. And not to mention what Derek brings intangibly. Like he's not the same kind of rah-rah guy that Griesel is, but he's just a steadying presence. A lot of young guys who have come through the program this year and last have talked about how much he's helped them get adjusted to like just college life and then playing Division I basketball. He can still do those things around the program, even though he's not playing. But it feels like to me that he's sort of a nice comfort blanket for some of those guys out there. So it's a big deal. I mean, if you don't have that out there, you're kind of grasping at straws for that same presence. Sam helps a lot in that regard, but it helps to have two voices out there like that. And Derek is a unique voice because he's one that's been here the entire time. He can speak from experience about playing with Fred, about playing in Nebraska, about playing in the Big Ten, and that's something that Nebraska did a good job building culture through the transfer portal in the offseason with guys like Vandemel and Griesel and Gary. They can't say the same thing. So huge loss if he's not around by Big Ten play. I don't know whether that will be the case or not, but we have to start thinking about like that at this point.
Jimmy, last one before we let you go. We're talking to Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald. How much do we read into these games early on in the season where lower level opponents are staying with some of the top tier opponents? And I ask that because I've heard a lot of people say now Omaha's coming in here, obviously, and Nebraska needs wins everywhere they can get them. Every opportunity they get, they need to try to squeak out a win. And you hear the Omaha stuck with Kansas on the road, and you had St. Thomas, the Tommies, sticking with Creighton on the road for a while, and Sam Houston beats Oklahoma. Arkansas Pine Bluff lost to TCU by 1 on the road. How much do you take stock in that in saying, when then you see Nebraska as a 17.5-point favorite against Omaha, how much do you really put stock into Omaha hanging with Kansas for a while?
I tend to think that as a mid-major, you get maybe one or two of those kind of games where you hang in there. A few things break right for you against the big dogs. But most of the time, like everyone wants to point and like, oh my God, look at UNO. Oh my God, look at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Arkansas Pine Bluff on Nebraska's schedule. Are they in trouble? Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not, man. Like these are still Big Ten athletes against Summit League athletes, and I think Rutsch has some sneaky gems that he's found, but that's still a really new team, still a really inexperienced team, and I think we get caught up in looking at again, Arkansas Pine Bluff, St. Thomas, etc. 97% of the time, these are 2-point games. So I would think that I understand Nebraska has lost a bye game every year under Huskers. I understand that this program taking any wins for like you could just think with the team we have right now, this is that has to win on effort and intensity. There'll be other coaching cliches that actually do matter, but it's still like it's probably going to be 10, 15 points. Like, it's probably going to be okay. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. How great of a hire and a fit was Chris Crutchfield going back to Omaha? I mean, he's a guy that played there. Yeah. He was an Oregon assistant coach last season. And how great of a fit is that for Crutchfield going back to Omaha?
I mean, frankly, I'm not sure that they could get a guy of his caliber if he wasn't an alum.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dude who he recruited Trey Young like he recruited Trey Young. He recruited Buddy Hield. He discovered Buddy Hield on like a dusty. He was going. I wrote a profile of Crutch in the spring, and he was telling me in his office that he found Buddy Hield playing on a dusty basketball court. Like Buddy's hair was almost orange because it was so dusty. Jeez. He went to a showcase looking for other recruits, and he just stumbled into Buddy. And you know who else he's telling those stories to? Recruits. You know who those recruits want to be? They'll be Buddy Hield. They want to be Trey Young. So that is just. You cannot overstate how valuable that kind of experience is and those kind of reference points are. And you have every Division I basketball recruit, even in the Summit League, they all think they're going to the league, right? Well, here's a guy that has actually helped people get. I don't know how many major coaches can say that. So I think it's going to take time for that program to get off the ground, but home run hire, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy. Hey, appreciate the time as always. We will talk to you down the road, and hope you enjoy the Nebraska Omaha game tonight.
I hope we all enjoy it. I appreciate you, Nick.
Yep, no problem. That is Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald. Appreciate him joining us. Apologize for the audio a little bit. He sounded like he might have been in like a wind tunnel a couple of times there. But yeah, no, that's a home run hire. Chris Crutchfield going back to Omaha.
If he wasn't an alumni, he's not
going back.
You're not hiring him.
But he was the top assistant for Dana Altman's squad at Oregon last year. So
hopefully that ends up better than the last Nebraska team that tried that.
There you go. All right, that'll do it. We will get to our final timeout. When we come back, we'll be joined by Strick and Nate for the crossover here on the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. College football, get America the time. Sort right. A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
The Heartland Diamond from Sartor Heyman Jewelers was born from an unrelenting desire for more sparkle. Designed to shine as bright as your love, the difference between the Heartland and the traditional cut is clearly visible with the naked eye. By adding 30 additional facets, our skilled craftsmen have created a masterpiece, a diamond that truly reflects your passion and desire. Stop in and see the brilliance of the Heartland Diamond for yourself, exclusively at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jim Bockel give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brant Excavating.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to brantexcavating.com. They're also hiring. So join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Red!
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477. We are built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul and Gato Comedy Syndicate present Big Comedy Energy November 11th and 12th, featuring headliner Corbin Master.
If you don't know, cultural appropriation is like if you're not black, you can't have cornrows. If you're not Asian, you can't use chopsticks. If you're white, you can't score a touchdown.
4 shows November 11th and 12th at 7 and 9:30 at Mary Ellen's at 27th Pine Lake. Tickets are $15 in advance or $25 at the door. For more information, find the event on Mary Ellen's page on Facebook.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Temperatures will be falling behind a strong cold front moving through this morning. There may be a few road showers, then eventually clearing as temps settle into the 40s by this afternoon. West winds gusting over 30. Tonight, mainly clear, low down to 19, and only a high tomorrow of around 36. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You want to join a team of industry leaders, a team where you can learn and grow, a team that treats you right. Don't hesitate to look at all the great career opportunities at Acres Equipment, the largest John Deere dealer network in Nebraska. We offer industry-leading wages, state-of-the-art benefits, and a great culture that focuses on both our customers and our employees. Find your next career opportunity at acres.com/careers.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Final segment of the Happy Hour. A little bit of crossover action as I'm joined by Nate Brennan and one Husker Hall of Famer, Eric Strickland. Gentlemen, how are you?
What's up? What's going on, Rico?
I'm not great. Nate's not. Nate is actually not good.
He's no bueno.
No.
I can understand though, because
I bet.
I don't think I've had it as bad as him, but I've had one of those before. And then in playing basketball, actually, to be a former basketball player, I've got pretty good feet, but I've seen some bad ones. But when you think about the blood that sometimes, because you're always stopping and stuff,
and people are just
your nail comes off,
stepping on your feet all the time.
Yeah, that's worse, I think, an ingrown.
Digs into your basically.
I think,
to be transparent, to
just let everybody know,
I had an ingrown toenail, and it wasn't that bad. for the past couple months. And then it started reaching the point I couldn't put pressure on it. So I was like, okay, I need to go get this checked out. So I go to urgent care, and their first reaction is, ooh.
You never want to hear that from a doctor.
Never what you want
like
to
if
hear.
you go to get something checked out and the doctor goes, ooh, it's like, okay, what is happening?
Like, come on. So then they're like, okay, we're gonna have to take it off. And I was like, take it off? They're like, no, only like half of it. So they took off half of it. Well, the first they injected a needle into my toe.
So did they go through the front of, so like where your toenail and your toe meet, or did they go through the top of the nail?
No. So where your toenail and your skin meet, they dug
they
into
went,
that to numb it. I know it's
I like that.
But it numbed it. So eventually they numbed it, and then they just dug it out, and it was, I swear to you, probably not like a quarter of an inch, maybe a little bit less than that of like toe, and that's why it progressively started hurting more because it kept digging further and further into my skin. So it hurts like hell right now, but she said that in like a week it'll feel better. But right now, this is I trust her because I'll have you guys know I'm not a doctor, so I trust the people that are doctors. But this
you
is
are not the smartest man in that room.
No, I'm not the smartest man in that room. That is for sure.
I'm gonna pause 10 seconds for station identification really fast.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at ticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
Yeah, no, that sounds terrible, and I don't know how you're going to focus the rest of the day.
That's the thing is, I need a little thirsty Thursday. I might just ask Kevin and be like, "Hey, can I just get the entire bottle?
Hey, can I get some? Can you also bring in some rubbing alcohol?
Can you bring in
pour that on your foot?
Can you bring in some tequila? I don't know what else.
The hard stuff.
What's the best remedy alcohol wise to numb the pain?
Rubbing alcohol
tequila?
For outside wounds. Drinking alcohol for inside wounds.
Drinking wise, tequila will probably make you feel all right.
Do you need to hop out? You need to take this call?
I think tequila is not my favorite.
You got to give me your good tequila. That'll lift my spirits.
He's not going to waste his good tequila on your toe.
He supposedly did Strick tell you about this?
What?
He has real tequila.
He had straight up Mexican.
Yes,
agave.
Yes, agave.
Nice.
But I had some moon.
Oh, you got some moon? I know people.
Okay.
I know people. I can get you some.
Maybe that's what I need.
You might need.
Then I'm gonna forget about the entire procedure. So
yeah, you'll be good.
There you go.
I asked her too.
And
I
the
was
weekend's approaching. You definitely want to be on point as the weekend approaches.
Eric says vodka.
Especially with this football game coming up.
He said vodka, Nate. Vodka. All right, what kind of vodka are we talking?
Just get the cheap stuff and just drink it all. Just drink it all. Don't drink it all.
Well, that's the thing is when I was in college, we used to get Aristocrat. You guys ever had Aristocrat? That'll put some hair on your chest.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't think I'm gonna drink.
I don't know
that.
Aristocrat.
Yeah, you don't want to drink any of that. So maybe we'll go vodka. Not that cheap though.
Okay, I believe in you.
I don't know.
You'll be okay.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right. There's bigger issues in the world besides my toe.
I say we could
focus as much as I can.
Yeah, we can talk. Bigger issues than your toe. We could talk football. We could talk basketball.
That's certainly an issue.
Stricky on the call again.
Oh man, yeah.
As Nebraska takes on Omaha, not UNO. Omaha.
They don't want that no more.
Don't make that mistake.
I know I gotta say Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha.
Is that a thing?
Very aware. That's just what they want to be called.
They've been UNO for the longest. Well, they are still UNO, but they want to be called Omaha for more of a national, branding type thing. Because UNO, you look at it and you're like, oh, Uno, that's a fun card game. But Omaha,
honestly, they should go by Uno. That's awesome.
No, they don't want to.
Well, isn't the chant? Because I've been to a UNO hockey game, and their chant, I'm pretty sure, is UNO.
I mean, yeah, it's this thing to chant, but they want to go by Omaha.
Am I right? Well, when didn't they make the Frozen 4 not too long ago?
Oh, they're great. Yeah, they make it a lot.
And did they go by Omaha?
Yes.
There you go.
Do you know?
You know, I just getting back.
They go by Omaha.
That's always your excuse. You have to talk about Nebraska.
I'm back.
I just know the brass rail. That's it. That's always what he says. Just ask me about the brass rail.
Yeah,
that's right.
Just Omaha. And me and Nick were talking about it earlier, and then I was talking with Bach about it. Omaha, they didn't put a scare into Kansas. They hung tough with Kansas for a little bit.
Did.
Then they ended up losing by, Kansas ended up taking care of business. But
like 15 or something.
But they're not going to be scared coming into PBA.
No.
They just played hard in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. They're not scared of PBA.
No.
So coming in here, Nebraska's got to bring their A game. They're 17-point favorites. We'll see if they can cover that or not. But I mean, to me, a win is a win. Just get these bye game wins out of the way. Get these mid-major wins out of the way before you end up facing some more Power 5 competition or Power 6. What is best? Power 6? Power whatever for basketball?
What do they consider Big East?
The Big East is a power conference.
I would consider the A10 too. The A10 is low-key nice.
So Power 7? Nah.
Well, you're not buying the A10. The A10 gets 3 to 4 teams every year.
Who's in the A10?
VCU, Dayton, Rhode Island.
I think if you can get
St. Louis,
it's whoever wins.
St.
and
Louis
they usually may have somebody ranked like a Dayton or
to me,
U of R, or Richmond beat Iowa last year.
To
they had
me,
3 schools last year.
In basketball, if you can get an at-large bid, I consider you a power conference.
They get that.
So power 7.
They get that.
So before you face the rest of the Power 7 competition, get these bye games out of the way.
You're going to be looking at
you're
looking at the ACC, Big 12, Big 10,
SEC.
Pac-12, SEC, Big East, and then
the A10.
A10.
So Power 7. That works.
I guess. Do you consider what's Gonzaga in? Because they usually get 2.
Oh yeah,
but that's kind of garbage though, because
That's
it's only ever Mount St.
Only
Mary's
them.
and
Yep.
Gonzaga.
Yeah,
Only them.
it's only
That's
those
it.
two.
That's
If St.
literally
Mary's isn't good, then it's only Gonzaga.
All right,
And they're
only
moving
7.
they're
7.
possibly moving to the Big 12.
Gonzaga?
Yeah.
They should. Well, what about
Which is going to be weird
They
because
probably need to.
because then they're going to have Gonzaga up in Washington. I think who's the furthest
Colorado.
south? Well, no, who's the furthest south? TCU or Texas?
Arizona.
No, in the Big 12. Well, if they get those,
Big
but
12.
so you have Gonzaga, whatever Texas team is further south, UCF
Baylor.
and West Virginia.
Baylor.
That's gonna be like.
Isn't Houston?
That
Wait,
is
isn't
ridiculous.
Houston
Oh,
coming?
Houston is joining.
It would be so it would be a Power 8 because the American has
American usually
Houston,
gets it.
Cincinnati, and Memphis.
Not for long. They still have
True,
Memphis, but
true.
they won't have Houston or Cincinnati anymore.
So I guess that'd just be 1.
Yeah.
In which case they'd be out.
So it's
Houston's
a power.
Houston's going to Big 12.
Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, and BYU going to the Big 12. So it's a Power 8 until 2 years from now.
And UCF basketball was pretty good a couple years back when they had Taco.
My guy.
They should have beat Duke.
Hey, he's tearing it up.
They should have beat Duke.
And you know who should have beat Duke after that?
That actually was
Virginia
a
Tech.
bad foul. Like
I know.
he went over the back. Like
Yeah.
that's a foul. I don't care what anybody
Taco
says.
Fall tearing it up in China.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't. Well, look, European ball for big guys like that works. It
Yeah.
doesn't work here no more.
I love Taco Fall. He
You
needs
know,
another
if you're
chance.
not Jokic or somebody,
I was about to say because isn't
like that,
Kofi
the
Coburn
only
out
one
there
that can
too?
do it is
Yes.
because he's just still athletic is Gobert because his value is different. Taco's still slow-footed. He can't.
right.
He can't guard.
Taco needs
anybody.
another chance.
Because that's Kofi too. Kofi
Yeah,
Coburn's
Kofi's
over
That's
there.
why they went over
Dwight's
there.
He can't
signing.
shoot.
It's the physicality.
Dwight's going to China.
Who?
Dwight Howard.
I saw that.
He wanted to go back to LA. I think that was the only place he wanted to resign, and they wouldn't have him, so he's going to China.
Let me ask you this, Strick. Dwight Howard Hall of Fame?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Hands down, yes. That's not even. I don't even think that's a question. He's busy. Yeah, I don't even think that's a question. His Orlando days, that's his Hall of Fame.
He was
right
like
there.
3-time
Dwight
first
Howard?
team All NBA.
Oh yeah,
Hall of Famer?
Orlando.
He's got a ring. He's got like 3 Defensive Player of the Year. He took Orlando
I
to
don't
the
think he's
finals.
He was
First
first
ballot.
team All NBA.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
first ballot. Yeah, they're gonna first ballot.
He's first
him.
ballot.
Gosh,
It's the
dang it.
best. Remember, and I know you know this. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
not the NBA Hall of Fame.
Is that a thing?
No, the NBA doesn't have its own Hall ofAme. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame, so it includes college as well.
Okay, then yeah.
Which is why,
Dwight
even
Howard
though
didn't play in college.
I know he
No,
didn't,
but
but he's.
he'll-
But that's the thing
that'll
is,
make
is
sure
with,
he
since
gets
it's a
it there.
Basketball Hall of Fame, it's just because it also includes your Olympic stuff, and he's the Olympic gold medalist 2 times. That's why, as much as
Kwame
it,
Brown Hall of Fame.
no, as much as it pains me,
You own what did they give you? What kind of pain medicine?
they gave him the good stuff. As much as it
No,
pains
I'm
me
playing,
to say
I'm
this,
playing.
this is one of the reasons why Carmelo Anthony is a first ballot Hall of Famer because of what he did in college and what he did in the Olympics.
Also,
His
he was
NBA
what,
career,
like-
his NBA career is solid, and he would be a Hall of Famer just his NBA career. But he's a first ballot because of what he did in
The
college
Olympics.
and what he did
Right.
at the Olympics.
That's fair.
Right.
I'm sorry, Rico. I know you're gonna hate this. I was never a big Melo guy.
That's okay. You don't have to be. You don't have to like him. You just have to respect him.
I don't know though. Do I? Because like he doesn't play any defense.
Yeah, he does.
You got to at least be able to play a little bit of defense.
He plays a
Strick
little bit
knows
of
this. You were a
defense.
defensive guy. Melo ain't played no defense.
He was one of the better. He was
Come on now.
look. He was playing some
Yeah,
solid
Melo was
defense in
playing
LA
no
last year. He was
Melo
some
was
solid.
playing no defense.
If you look last year,
No D.
last year with LA, opponents going against Melo and ISO were only shooting around 20%.
Okay, in the
That's what I'm talking
twilight
last year.
of his career.
I'm talking last year. He was doing good. Well, that's even more
in
impressive.
the prime, no,
he was playing no defense.
no.
He was really
He was
really
making
good.
business.
He was really good
decisions,
at
so he was
swatting the
doing
ball
it.
away. That's what he was.
Wasn't that when they ran the
And as
triangle
George Karl's-
offense? Who was that? Derek
That was
Fisher?
in New York with Phil Jackson
Triangle
as the GM,
offense?
and he should never do that again. And I despise Phil Jackson because of that.
That was awful.
He ruined that Knicks
You
team.
ever run the triangle triangle
Yes.
offense trick?
I did.
How'd that work?
We ran it in Dallas because Jim Clemens was our coach for the Mavericks, and Jim Clemens was one of the coaches with the Bulls when the Zen Master and that whole crew had developed the triangle, so he brought it to us.
Who played down low in that triangle?
For us?
Yeah. Was it Sean Bradley?
Well, he didn't stay as long. Sean didn't come till afterwards, so it was bad for us to run that. We didn't have. You have to have a certain kind of personnel to run the triangle.
That's why it didn't
we
work
had
in-
like Lauren Meyer, who
Yeah.
was at Iowa State.
That's why it
and
didn't work in New York
guys
because
like
they had Melo trying to be the Kobe Michael type, and they had Amari.
Right.
Amari actually could have run the triangle pretty well, but they had Melo trying to be the Kobe Jordan type, and it just didn't
Amari
work.
Stoudemire was nice.
But it's a cerebral. It's a cerebral offense. Like you have to be able to read and respond based on how the defense is guarding, covering you on each situation. It's not a cookie cutter. Like there's certain cuts, certain passes, certain things depends on how. So I was able to do
The
it.
triangle
really
is
well.
always moving, isn't it?
No, it's a shifting, depending, but it's not a moving. It's moving as far as certain screens, certain down picks, certain cut throughs. That dictates what you're going to run. So it's like it's not a play. There's no play. Wherever you as the passer initiate the pass depends on what your cuts are. And so
it's kind of letting
for
the
me,
defense dictate what you're going to do.
Dictate what you're going to do. So if they're pressuring you, there's releases, there's just all types of things. So it worked for me because I was very cerebral. So I could understand where I was going to get shots from. So when I went to the summer league, that's how I got my contract because we were still running the triangle.
Oh, really?
So I went to summer league and I was balling because if you don't know it, you don't know it, but I knew it. So it made my game real.
It didn't work for Melo.
No,
it did not. That was not his speciality. He wanted to shoot. He wanted to score, which he's
More of an
really
ISO
good at,
guy.
which he's really good at. He's top 10 all time scoring.
Is he really?
He is. Would be higher if he didn't get blackballed when he was in Houston.
Yeah.
Wasn't he with OKC? He was with
Yep.
OKC
He
for a
went
while.
from Denver to New York to OKC to Houston to out a year to
The Blazers.
to technically Chicago, Atlanta, and then the Blazers.
Blazers are balling right now.
Yeah, they are. Damian Lillard, MVP. We're only like a month into the season.
Maybe.
So
Probably be Luka.
Negative.
Luka's balling out of
I
control
like
as
Luka
well.
right now.
I love the NBA so much. The Knicks got rolled last night, but it's fine. Kevin Durant, triple-double. Looks good with, nobody else on that team. So we'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for the happy hour. Up next on the block, Nate Strick. They'll take you through until old school. But I'm out. Adios.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive.